Okay.
Okay, hi, I'm Richard Swayson. This is part 2 of the Hojack Swing Bridge story. Part 1 was uploaded several weeks ago. As you can see, the bridge is now probably 3/4 down, a sad loss to the community. There is probably 99% of the community that if they knew the story would want this bridge not only left up but converted into a year-round community center. The more tragic part of the story is it's costing the taxpayers way more to take this bridge down at about $11.5 million than it would be to create a beautiful, useful community center for both the towns of Greece and Irondequoit, but also the historic Shalat part of the city of Rochester. Richard Margolis's book. Could I have Richard's book, please? The small book underneath. Again, we talked before about, Sammy, could you zoom in on this, please? You know, we talked about Richard's book, you know, the swing bridge and the concept in the back. And last time, this beautiful community center concept arguably would have cost far less than the removal of the bridge. The bridge has been removed largely for one reason: the absolute inordinate influence that one or two large yacht owners and the marina owners who host those large yacht owners have. The undue influence this small but influential group has on large federal agencies such as the U.S. Coast Guard, which is the lead agency. The U.S. Coast Guard is now a subset of Homeland Security. The Army Corps was also involved, but really the lead agency is the U.S. Coast Guard. So we have to really lay the blame for this debacle at the doorstep of the U.S. Coast Guard and Homeland Security, and more specifically about who within a group of select, rather wealthy one-percenters here in Rochester have been able to influence the Rochester Yacht Club and other groups to absolutely, unduly, inordinately influence the U.S. Coast Guard to remove what is an incredible neighborhood community asset. It's of great historic stature. Books have been written about it. Hundreds of people have tried to save it, but they have been overridden in our society, where we get all the justice money can buy, all the government money can buy, and this is a blatant example of wanton destruction. The taxpayers will pay way more and have been paying way more for this destruction. Ostensibly, the costs are being borne by the CSX, the railway company, but in reality, the taxpayers are probably paying far more to oversee the destruction, which is environmentally very damaging. This bridge has existed down to bedrock on the river. Its foundation goes almost 100 feet down. There have been spurious allegations made that it's a problem to navigation. And yet, in the lawsuit that was written a few days ago, it's been clearly stated by mariners who have navigated this river for over 52 years that not only is it an impediment to navigation, but that the bridge has had no accidents to speak of, no recorded accidents since 1905. And if there ever was anything, it had to do with the fault of the large yachts who were illegally docked in the shipping lanes of the Stephen Roman. It's ironic that those purported accidents were never reported, because the fault lay entirely with the yacht owners and not with the Stephen Roman. The bridge has been safe. It's acted as a traffic calmer and a divider of traffic on the river. The bridge is perfect. It is a National Historic Landmark, and it is an absolute travesty that it is now being torn down at a cost to the taxpayers that would be much, much, much higher than a beautiful year-round community center, glassed in, that could be used year-round, that could act as a bridge between the communities of Irondequoit, Shalat, and Greece. that could be an attraction, such as the Eiffel Tower is to Paris. This would be Rochester's Eiffel Tower. So this now opens chapter 2 in the saga, which means that the 200 people, the Harbortown seniors who have been working on this for over 12 years, are now going to have to ratchet up a step further and look into the background of why and who was influenced to do this against the wishes of the taxpayers, against the wishes of the 99%. This is a supposed democracy. So please stay tuned for chapter 2. Thank you very much.
Well said.